this week is to cash in base runners. They've been outstanding at doing that. And they'll need to do that if they're going to come away with their second consecutive Carol Forbes Memorial Trophy.
Now is Andrew. Runner at first, see what we do here. Here comes the pitch, driven right back up through the middle. It'll be Ezekiel coming into second, round into third. Goes Nick Shales. First to third goes Shales off and moving on the hit. Single for Rona. Runners on the corners with two down here in the top half of the first inning. Jarvis trying to push across a run here in the first. That little curve comes in for a strike.
Of course, Ian Fearman with it started off this tournament slow, but he's picked it up.
Come inside, that one away from Shannon. Here comes Shales, the toss, not in time. Shales under the ball, rolls away from Kirkpatrick. And allow Brad Rona to scamper into third base. So a wild pitch. Charge to Kirkpatrick. Allow that run to come in and score. And Rona all the way around to third. 1-0 in favor of the defending champs on championship Saturday night. Kevin Wallace gets the nod tonight for the championship game. As Andrew Kirkpatrick comes inside, and that one off the glove. Casely sort of nonchalanted it, and it just kept rising. An error given to Casely.
Just a bit too casual on that play, Kyle. It was a hard-hit ball, and I think he thought it was hit directly at him. But I think it had a little more velocity on it than he thought, and ended up going off the webbing of his glove.
So Freddie Turkelson now, see what we do. Small ball possibly on the order. There's the bunt. Get it down. Good job. Wilson goes the short way to first. Casely covering for the first out. As Andrew Kirkpatrick, little dribbler up the line. Is it going to stay fair? It is, as it bows to the right side. Ryan Wolf puts top right-hand English on the ball and stays in play. As Kirkpatrick, that step back, comes with it. Swung on a bouncer over the hose and into right field, around to third. Now stopping up, now coming into third, sliding is Pat Graham. So runners on the corners now. Andrew just misses on the outside edge for ball 4. So load the bases as Benny Noka finds his way to first. 2 down in the inning, a big bullet here for Turkelson coming up. Whether it nicks him or they dodge it or they take it full on. Kirkpatrick fisted off. That'll fall in for a base hit. 2 runs going to come around and score. As coming in, Pukash picks it up and cash those 2 runs. Turkelson, an RBI double, and make it a 3-0 ball game. So that will bring the night to a conclusion for Andrew Kirkpatrick, as very upset with himself as he heads off. So Bryan Newton will be the man that comes on in relief. As Bryan Newton fisted out and into center field. Picked up cleanly by Ezekiel. The throw to the plate, not in time. As Turkelson slides in safely and make it a 5-0 ball game.
Boy, they sure can hit the ball, Kyle, and they sure can capitalize, and that's what the Jarvis Travelers have been doing, and no different in this championship game as they take a commanding lead here.
But it looks as though the rain has subsided as Jerry Betts, our cameraman, has taken down his umbrella.
Another single up the middle, courtesy Casely, so he bounces back his second hit of the game. And that will bring up Pat Shannon with 1 away. Randy McLam is in right as the runner goes, and in there safely is Pat Shannon. with a stolen base. And Gary Johnson is out in left field. So a 5-man crew to work the game, the championship final. So the O's now with a 2-2 count and a runner in scoring position. 2 away. And that one is driven out to left field. And slipping on the play is Patty Graham. That's going to allow a run to come in, racing around. And into third base is Laoz with a stand-up triple. And you can put the first run on the board as Patty Shannon scores. The 1-1 pitch. And that one's driven up the middle for a base hit. So another run comes in to score as Wilson delivers. So that miscue hurts the Travelers. 2 runs now in the score. And that ball is laced up the middle. So Casely on base for the 3rd time. 2nd time with a single. So Casely not fooled at all by Don Scott. And that'll bring up Patty Shannon, who grounded out way back in the 1st inning. The 2-0 pitch from Scott. And that one is laced out there to left field. And it will go for a base hit, rounding first and into second with a double is Shannon. Casely or Elvis Santiago will end up on third base. So we'll see if Donnie Scott can wiggle his way out of this jam. 2 men aboard, 2 out. 5-2 game. That one's laced up the middle. That's going to bring in a couple of runs. On it quickly in center field is Freddie Turkelson, but didn't matter. 2 runs come across Travis Wilson with another 2 RBIs.
Jarvis had built a 5-0 lead, scoring runs in the 1st and 4 in the 4th. Chicago, New York replied in the bottom of the 4th with 2. And now 2 in the 6th to draw within 1 as a slap off the glove. Schultz barehand. He's got the runner hung up. Now in a rundown, Enoka Wilson with it. Tags him on the back end, hangs on, and gets the out.
And it will be up to Jeff Ellsworth to keep this inning alive and keep the Gremlins' hopes alive. And even 10 strikeouts for Don Scott. I'm sure he would trade them all in for one right here. So Scott and Ellsworth. And that ball's ground ball over to Shales at third, over to first base, and that's all she wrote. The Jarvis Travelers have won their 2nd consecutive ISC World Championship. And boy, Kyle, they deserved it.
Now to accept the Carol Forbes Memorial Trophy from the Jarvis Travelers coaching staff, Steve Kuzer, Daryl Fairman, Clark Statz, and Coach Fred McKean.